Full disclaimer, this video could be interrupted many of times due to my crying infant. Hello guys, happy Tuesday and welcome to my channel. Cue the baby cries in the background. I'm Mallory and I'm going to talk to you guys about my experience with having a C-section, and if you are a first-time mom, congratulations. And if you're having a C-section or a scheduled one and you're a bit nervous, I'm just going to go over like what happens, what to expect from the morning of and all the way into recovery with everything in between. So let's get started. Okay, so for my C-section, I did not know I was having one until the week before. So I actually gave birth at 39 weeks. I did not make it to full term. My baby was pushing like 10 pounds by my anatomy scan. Not my anatomy scan, my growth scan, I'm sorry. I was having growth scans every 4 weeks because of my gestational diabetes, and they wanted to check the baby. She was completely healthy and fine. She was just on the bigger side. So we did check that. She was at 9, I think like 9.15, and we all know 16 ounces would be 10 pounds. So that was at week 37, I believe. So my doctor was like, you have an option, you can try and push, or you can just opt for a C-section. And my only thing in my birth plan I really did not want to do was have to push for multiple hours and then go into an emergency C-section to get the baby out. I had a week to prepare. Not that you don't really need any preparing. I'll make a separate video on like things I bought and things that worked for me, like postpartum and in the hospital, but there's nothing really to do. You just get ready. It is super stressful and scary when you don't know what you're getting into. I had no idea. I never had such a severe surgery before. I had my appendix out, but that's nothing compared to a C-section, I'm going to tell you now. So the morning of, you have to be there in my hospital anyway. This is all my hospital. I'm not a medical professional. I just want to throw that out there. These are just experiences I had personally. My hospital, we got there an hour and a half the morning of. So my C-section was for 12:30 p.m. I got there at 11 o'clock in the morning. The night before, I fasted water and food, so I had nothing. Got there at 11 o'clock, checked in. Because of coronavirus, my husband could not go upstairs into the pre-op with me. He had to sit downstairs. There was like a waiting room for like dads or significant others. Whoever was going to be with you and stay with you while you were at the hospital, there was a little area for them to be in while you went up, checked in, got your Johnny on, got set up for surgery, etc. So my husband waited downstairs. I went up. You know, they do the usual, your name, information, health insurance, give you the Johnny, they weigh you. If you are not shaved, they will buzz you, even for a C-section. I did not know this, or else I would have done it myself. I was slightly embarrassed and I didn't want to do it, but they get right in there for you, so don't you worry, they will fix you right up. They put the IV in your hand. Nothing is connected yet, but they want to get you as prepared for surgery as possible to make the day run smoothly. However, with that being said, my hospital that day was clearly running behind because my scheduled section was at 12:30. I did not go into the operation room until about 3-ish. My baby was born at 3:44 p.m. so 12:30, 3:44, it was a day. So basically that entire time I was alone, sort of. We'll get into that in a different video. You're alone because no one can come up with you because of coronavirus. So I sat alone, went on my phone, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, TikTok, just played around and just waited, which is honestly more nerve-wracking because I just wanted to like get in there and get it done at the time it was supposed to, but because they're running behind, I was just kind of sitting there with my thoughts, which is completely normal. If that is you, don't feel like, oh my God, I'm the only one nervous about this. Everybody has one. It's still scary if you have no idea what you're getting into, right? So about 2:30, around that, my anesthesiologist came in, really nice. He basically explained what was going to happen. I got a spinal. He explained to me, they'll put it in on your spine, they lean you forward when you get into the OR, put it through. You'll feel the pins and needles, the tingles immediately. They'll lay me down on the table and they will start the C-section. Okay, great, fine. He went off. I had nurses constantly checking on me. They really couldn't offer me anything because I couldn't eat or drink. Helping me to the bathroom if I needed it, etc. And then my OBGYN came in, who was performing the C-section, just to talk to me and let me know, we're really sorry, we're running behind. This is what to expect. This is what we're gonna do when we get in there. Okay, great. I just wanted to get in there at this point. I wanted my baby out. I wanted to see my husband, and I was ready. So fast forward to like 3 o'clock, they start reeling me down. So when you get in there, be prepared. There are a lot of people. There is about 10 to 15 people in the OR with you when you are having a section. There's your OBGYN, and usually I want to say like there was 2 assist doctors with her. And then I had a student, a practicing OB with them as well. And then there are a few people over near where the baby is going to go who will take care of them when they are born. And then there was also in my hospital, I don't know if every hospital does this, I had someone just up there to make sure I was okay. To make sure I was doing okay with my breathing, and to make sure I was not having any issues if I needed anything. Not that they could give me much, but it was just nice to have her there. She offered me oxygen. She was just kind of rubbing my shoulder, telling me everything was okay. So once you get in there, the first thing they do before they bring in whoever is staying with you, husband, significant other, a parent, whoever, they give you your spinal. So what they do is they take you from the hospital bed to the operating bed. You undo your Johnny in the back, so get ready for everyone to see everything. You are a mom now. Nothing is hidden. It is out for the world, and that's just how it is now, forever. So they have you untie the back of the Johnny, lean forward and hold your tummy, and they let you know it's gonna sting. There's a slight pinch. Once they put that spinal in, it is like immediate, okay? Seconds. I felt it like in my toes, like a tingle, like pins and needles almost. And I want to say in about like, I would say 2 minutes, I was completely numb. So once that happens, they lay you down immediately. This is when my husband did come in. Thank God, because I was getting nervous. I didn't see him, and I was like, I don't want them to start without him. What if they forget him? Which they don't. They won't forget your significant other. It is just a thought that is, of course, going to run through your head if it is your first time having a baby. My husband, Adam, did come in. He sat right up here with me. The other nurse who was monitoring my oxygen levels and making sure I was okay was up here. At that point, they do tell you, because of the pressure, you feel like there's pressure because you are numb. So it feels like it's something like on your chest, you can't breathe. It's totally normal. I didn't feel that until the very, very end. At that point, that's why they offer you the oxygen. I did take it right away because I'm not used to, who's used to being numb like that, right? I took the oxygen right away. And I got it. I don't know if everyone gets, I got wicked cotton mouth, okay? I was like dying. I'm like, can I have gum? Can I have a mint? I need chapstick. I need something, right? They were like, sorry, it'll be over soon. Get over it, basically. At this point, my OBGYN did ask me, do you feel this? She must have maybe she like hit my leg or whatever she did, but I didn't feel a thing. So that was their green light. They started. You don't feel pain. It is very normal for you as a first-time mom getting a C-section or delivering vaginally to say, oh my God, this is gonna hurt. I'm going to feel pain. C-section, you don't feel a thing, okay? At least I didn't. If you have a complication, I'm sure that's something different. I felt nothing. Thank you, Lord. All of a sudden, they were just down there, and she was kind of like telling me, she's like, we're getting there. She goes, okay, we're at the placenta. We're about to cut the baby out. She kind of like gave me like a play-by-play. It was awesome. My husband was up here with me just telling me like, you're doing great, everything's fine. He did tell me afterwards there was like a lot spilling on the floor as far as fluids and blood. I did not know. I never even saw it. I never looked down. I didn't even think to look. I didn't think to ask to look at my placenta or anything. I just was so overwhelmed with getting surgery as a first-time mom, having my baby, and I was also 3 hours behind. So I want to say 3:15 they started. 3:44 my baby was born. Sophia Jean came out. They have the curtain up so you clearly can't see. They like picked her up and like her little chubby head like peeked over the little curtain, and I cried like a baby immediately. They brought her over to the little bed table where they weigh her, they check her, they suction the fluid out of her lungs if there is any. My husband did go over there and did cut the cord, so you do get to still do that with a C-section. I thought that was nice. And then they swaddled her up, cleaned her a little bit, and they brought her over to me to see. I didn't really touch her. I did give her a kiss. They did let me kiss her, but honestly I just didn't feel comfortable. I was very pins and needles. I still couldn't feel much. I didn't want to hold her, so my husband held her right next to me. And the nurse did take a picture of us. They were really awesome about that. So once the baby is cleaned up, Adam left with the nurses and the baby, and they went into the recovery room before me. At this point, they were working on like sewing me back up. So they left with the baby to go get her all set up, and they do give her a vaccine in the hospital. I don't remember which one, to be honest with you, but I know that they give the baby the vaccine in the hospital. When they go to the recovery room, they do get one. So they're gone. I'm still on the table. They are going to start to sew you up at this point. Again, you don't feel anything. I felt tugging, like movement, kind of like if someone was just like, but no pain, not even discomfort. I wouldn't even call it that. It's just like a weird feeling. Once it takes, I think honestly, sewing up took longer than the actual C-section to get the baby out. So once they sew you up, it takes about a half hour, maybe 40 minutes, depending. They move you back to a bed, a hospital bed. I talked to the doctors for a little bit at this point. I just said, thank you so much. Everything went really well. They said baby was beautiful. She was 10 pounds, 3 ounces, and 21 inches long. She was a big, thick girl, okay? They said like easily with the size of my placenta and her, I probably dropped like 20 pounds right off the bat. Yay me. I wasn't really worried about that at that moment, but I knew I had a big baby. We didn't know the size of her, but we knew she was big. So I talked to the doctors, just said thank you. They said everything went really well. Baby's beautiful, baby's healthy, good job, best of luck. And they put me on the hospital bed. You get moved again. You're pretty much naked the whole time at this point. Just remember that you have a Johnny on, but it's on, but it's not on. You know what I mean? So just get comfortable because everyone's seeing everything. So they wheel me down to recovery where Sophia and my husband are. They set me up in there, and that is when I finally got to hold her and do skin to skin. I do breastfeed exclusively, not at the beginning I didn't. My milk did not come in for the first 5 days because I had a C-section. So I did try to breastfeed her. I did a lot of skin to skin with her. The nurse that was there with me was checking my vitals, checking her vitals. At that point, she did give me water. Thank the Lord. I needed it so bad. The cotton mouth was so strong. In recovery, they just want to make sure that you start to feel again. You're actually not allowed to leave recovery until you can start to feel your legs. In my hospital, again, this was what their stipulation was. We were in recovery for almost 5 hours. I don't know if that's normal, but I had complications with clotting. A resident doctor had to come in and they push on your stomach to make sure things are shrinking back to normal, and they check. I had a lot of blood, a lot of clotting. It was concerning for sure. There was a point where the doctor was just basically pulling blood clots out of me, and that does happen to some people. I don't want to say it's normal, but it is. Things can happen like that very easily. So they did keep me in a little longer to make sure I was okay. They checked my oxygen levels, and I started taking an iron supplement while I was in the hospital. But the baby was fine. She was completely fine. She didn't have any kind of issues. Again, with my gestational diabetes, her sugars were normal, so it did not get transferred to her. She didn't have any kind of diabetic problem when she was born, and she still doesn't. So that's great. When you're in recovery, it's pretty low key. There weren't a lot of people coming in and out. The doctor came to check. I had basically the same nurse from when I got there to when I left. We laid there, waited for my legs to come back, waited for my feet to feel again. They offered my husband food. During COVID, you're not allowed to leave the hospital to get food, and you're not allowed to go to the cafeteria to get food. So a lot of people are offering you a lot of food all the time. They do give meals to the dad as well. Apparently they don't do that before. Bring your own snacks. I cannot stress this enough. We brought lots of snacks. We brought huge water bottles to constantly fill. So I want to say about 3 hours into recovery, I started to feel a bit, my toes came back and like my thighs came back, but I still couldn't feel like my butt cheek area, like all of that was still pretty numb. So they waited for that to finally ease in. So I'd say around 8:39 is when I left recovery. At this point, it was almost 10 by the time we got settled. We just relaxed. They are constantly coming in. You are not going to rest in the hospital. You might sleep a little bit, but by the time the nurse comes in to check you, they come back to check the baby. There's someone coming in to make sure if you need anything like water, etc., because you're not allowed to leave the room to go get ice or water or anything like that because of coronavirus. So this is like a lot of like also pandemic stuff if you weren't sure, if you haven't been into a hospital in a while. I hope you guys truly enjoyed this video. I hope if you're a new mom or a new C-section mom that this somewhat helped you and you're going in knowing a bit more than you did before. I did look everywhere. I looked on Pinterest, I googled everything, I joined mom groups to find out things about C-sections. My mom had all 3 of us C-sections, so I had a lot of information from her prior. If you guys liked this video, please like and subscribe to this page. I will be putting out more as the weeks go on, and thank you so much for watching. Bye.